ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्तधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। From verse 13. समं कायशिरो ग्रीवं धारयन्नचलं स्थिरः सम्प्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रं स्वं दिशश्चानवलोकयन् प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभिः ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तः युक्त आसीत मत्परः। While talking about, we are talking about chapter 6. Few weeks were not there, so probably you would have forgotten. Chapter 6 of Bhagavad-Gita. Topic of meditation, and such a detailed explanation on how to meditate, what are the preparations to be done. So Sri Krishna goes in elaborate terms to explain, elaborate length to explain this. First and foremost thing is, meditation should free us from the conditioning where we are right now, which is the physical, emotional conditions. Physically, we are conditioned by the body that we have. A man is conditioned by the male body, and nowadays that change also, but that's different. Physically, we are conditioned. We cannot be in too many places at the same time. We have our limbs limited. But very often we don't suffer that limitation. Our limitations are mostly psychological, emotional. And therefore, freedom which Sri Krishna is now is speaking about, is to get out of fear. Prashanta Atma, please reduce a little bit. Prashanta Atma Vigata B. Vigata B. Vigata. Divide off B. B is fear. Bhaya. And again, our fears are of three kinds. At the physical level, we are afraid of physical injury, death. Psychologically, we are afraid of failures, disappointments, sorrows, afflictions, emotions. Others' death, loss of near and dear. And we usually spend a lot of time in taking care of or overcoming these two fears. We go for medical checkup, we make sure that we exercise, hopefully, because we are afraid not to go for, not to suffer sickness. Even though death is for sure, but we don't want to die suffering. Nobody says that I don't die. I came here to die. Only Australians would say that. I came here to die. Today means today. All of us came here to die only. But then, we all know that death is certain, unavoidable. But how do we live? Should not be something which will invade death very fast. So, physical upkeep, maintenance of health, proper food, etc. So, we are spending a lot of time in making sure that physically we don't suffer much. Physical comforts, conveniences, etc. And we also spend a lot of time in terms of earning money, securing for this retirement, enough in the bank for making sure that emergency is met. But in spite of all these things, sorrows are unavoidable again. The behavior of others, attitudes of others towards us, and our own other disappointments coming in the business or profession or emotional, personal, and other things. In the process of being busy with these two fear to be taken care, we totally forget and overlook the spiritual aspect, which also causes a great amount of fear. Anything uncertain is subject to causing fear. Let's look at this death. It is sure, but not sure about when. Is it not true? Certain is death, uncertain is when. Certain is old age, uncertain is how fast. Certain is loss of things around us, people and other things, but we do not know when. So, thus uncertainty continues, because of which anxiety continues, because of which stress is always there. So, when meditation is taken up as a serious practice, it is to overcome the fears by escalating or elevating ourselves towards a spiritual perfection. And what do we mean by that is, know that you don't die. This knowledge of one being immortal should be confirmed, ascertained, and asserted. Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham. Manaha, buddhi, chittaha, ahankaraha na aham. And if you look at it, all psychological fears are from there only. Manaha, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Mind, intellect, memory, ego. Na cha shrotra jihve, na cha grana netre. I'm not the ears, nose, tongue, skin, because all other inputs that we receive from the world, sometimes pleasant, sometimes unpleasant, sometimes useful, sometimes not useful, something giving joy, something giving sorrow. Na chavyoma bhumirna tejo na vayuhu. Earth, water, fire, air, space, which also can cause uncertainties. Then who are you? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Now, why this is important is that, not that it will solve the problem of you dying, old age, sickness, possible failures, disappointment, sorrows, but it will give you enough reinforcement to face it. Why? By elevating your attention from certain things which are certain to happen, which are uncertain about when, to something which is certain and which is beyond all these things. As I gave the example last class, I remember when a child is playing with the neighbors one, and let us say they happen to have some fight. Unhappy, the boy comes home crying to the mother, and mother says, "Don't worry, I am there. I will talk to his mother." Then fellow goes back. My mother will take care of this problem. Now, what is that made that boy suddenly change his anger or unhappy crying attitude to what? A happy, strong, bold, confident, challenging. My mother will take care of this. And the teenager won't do that. A small child. Because that fellow has faith in the mother, faith in the daddy or mother, and who will, my brother, elder brother, will take care of it. So, where faith has come into the picture, which should be followed by a confirmation of that faith, not just blind faith. And this you have to assert in yourself in meditation. As I said, fear and freedom cannot go together. If you are afraid of someone, you cannot be free with that person. Therefore, religion which talk about only God as a judge, who judges your sins, he punishes you for what you have done, is a fear factor. And to such attitude, God is always a trident. Person with a weapon in his hand ready to kill you, punish you, take you to hell, send you to hell, not hell. On the other hand, when you approach that same God as ye the one who can make me immortal, show me the path to immortality. But for he being himself is a man, an immortal being. So love develops, faith develops, respect develops, closeness comes, affinity, relationship, proximity of the Lord is felt. Prashanta Atma Vigatabihi. Mind peaceful, fearless. That fearlessness, as I said, is because of the spiritual assertion, overcoming emotional and that is psychological and physical certain fears that are very certain to be there. I mean, the unavoidable situations that are definitely going to affect your physical and psychological personality, you can overcome by spiritual assertions. Brahmachari vrate stitaha. Brahmachari vrata, as I have explained to you clearly, that very word at once is a prescription and a practice. Prescription, that is, maintain self-control. Prescription, practice, abide in your higher self. Brahmani chara. Abide in your higher self. Yaha brahmani charati saha brahmachari. Tadeva vrataha brahmachari vrataha. That alone is considered to be as important practice. So at one level, it is indulgence with the senses having been curtailed. The mind should turn towards the higher nature. So both are at the same time instructed by Krishna as Brahmachari Brata. Prashanta Atma Vigata Bihi Brahmachari Vrate Stitaha. And such an individual who has thus gained the spiritual assertion in himself, Krishna says, Manas Sanyamya, having brought your mind relatively under control, Machittaha, mind filled with me, yukta asid, let him sit, matparaha, keeping me as the goal. Me here does not mean the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Krishna. Me, the highest goal, because even Krishna is subject to death. Krishna as the son of Vasudeva is no more. Is it not? The physical body of Krishna is no more. Every avatar had met with that every physical human avatar has met with that end, because physically he is not referring to himself as Krishna. Me, the Krishna consciousness or the pure consciousness, the self, in that you keep the mind. Manasayyamya macchittaha yuktaha matparaha asid. May he stay keeping his mind focused on that. So what is the result? We always worry about, okay, if I do this, Krishna, yes, what do I get? Your utilitarian I would call attention is always there. Utilitarian mindset we have. Okay, I'll do it. Then what? Then what? What is the result? What do I get? So here in the next verse, immediately Krishna gives the result of this practice. Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasaha shantim nirvana paramam matsamstamadhigacchati yunjannevam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasaha shantim nirvana paramam matsamstamadhigacchati evam sada yunjan. Evam, this way, sada, all the time, yunjan, engaging. Sada yunjan means always engaging. Where who? Yogi, atmanam yunjan, oneself engaging. And this engagement in meditation is not a physically sitting down and doing it. How long? Some people have this peculiar habit of thinking that if I sit long, I will get somewhere. How long you meditate? 4 hours, Swami. And by just 4 hours, even 2 minutes, you cannot keep your mind in one place. Will you agree with me? Right. Even as I am talking, your mind is going to Starbucks and comes back within a few seconds. Mind is such a thing, you will sit here, but mind is everywhere. Sitting, you go everywhere. So many times our Gurudev used to come from, let us say, international flight or anything, and then people go and assemble and go to his room. Swamiji, you must be very tired. Why? Oh, you came from United States, in India. So 24 hours traveled. He will be always fresh. And he will say, I was just sitting down, doing nothing. It's a mental idea that, 24 hours I sat down. 24 hours I traveled. What did you do? You tell me, what did you do? Ate 3-4 times, which you otherwise would not eat. Whatever you came, that you ate, which otherwise you may think twice. Traveling, it is okay. Butter with the bread, jam, watch some movies, slept. Tired. How can you be tired? It is a mental idea that I am traveling. Oh, thousands of miles, thousands of... You are not doing a thing. So, you see, when you are sitting down, the mind is what's just moving constantly. Even at 33,000 feet height, You'll be cribbing about, I went to my mother-in-law's place in India. She should not have done it. Mind is exhausted. That's why I said, when you go from here to India, you're so excited, You may go for 10 days or 15 days, you will never have a jet lag at all. Why? So you're excited to meet people and show off what all you have brought and all those things. Coming back, 10 days, jet lag. Why? It's all the same husband, same wife. What is it? The mental exhaustion. Asino duram vrajati, Upanishad says. Sitting in one place, it goes everywhere. So it is the mind, even for few minutes, you cannot keep it in one place. 4 hours of meditation. Complete blabbering of the mind for continuous 4 hours. So it is not easy for any individual who has not practiced much to sit for maximum half an hour. Gurudev always prescribes maximum half an hour. Even that is difficult. So when he says Sada Yunjan, what do you mean by that? Atman Yogi, Atmanam Sada Yunjan, Evam Sada Yunjan. Thus meditating consistently. Here the consistency is important than constancy. You understand the difference between consistent and constant? Practicing it regularly, given time, consistently. Then one day, 4 hours. Next day, next to 4 weeks, nothing. That's what we do exercise also. Amazing. 1 week, every day I will go for a walk. 1 hour. Next to 4 weeks, not even getting up from the bed. Eat. My 1 full week I walk. That's enough for next 4 weeks. That is called inconsistency. It is not, Sada is here not constant, continuously, no, consistently. Do that consistently in the same way and you will find significant difference in your mind. How calm it becomes. For in the first few days you will find the mind is running all over the place, which is its nature. You will notice it, you will observe it. Slowly, just as when you start doing the physical exercise, yes, first few days you will find that your muscle is aching, every part of the body wants rest. Some people who go for the hiking, we are ready, Swami will go. And I watch, I only go later, watch them going. And they walk and talk and laugh and then 1 mile over. Slowly. Second mile stopped. Water. Third mile, no movement. Consistency is not there. Why run? Go slowly, but keep moving. So in the same way, in the beginning stages, you will find your mind resisting it. Your mind does not want to do it because you are observing it. If you are at home and somebody constantly looks at you, what are you doing? Constantly, whatever you do, you keep watching. You feel annoyed. You say, why are you doing it? Do your work. Now I just want to know what you're doing. In the same way, mind does not want to be noticed. If somebody is observing, it will get a little disturbed first. So every thought that arises in your mind, not judge it, watch it. And the moment you start watching it, you will recognize, it is out of practice, you will come to know that repetition of thoughts you will notice. Certain thoughts repeat, certain thoughts without any external promptings will come. Those are called your vasanas. Because there is no external input that is triggering it. It is an internally very well, deeply rooted impressions. They produce the thoughts without any external promptings. Understand, you cannot avoid pursuing those thoughts because promptings are from within. It is one thing to get hungry and eat, and at another because you see the food and therefore you eat. Isn't it? Some people, when they see the food, they want to eat. That's not actual hunger. Hunger is when you are physically, you're feeling, yes, I have less and less energy now, I am hungry, and therefore when you eat. Similarly, vasanas are the inner hungers. No matter what, if the world doesn't allow you, you will do it, secretly or openly. Why? Because those urges are not necessarily something coming from outside. So it's not you to judge. No, this is what it is. No, I have to overcome this. Vasana kshayo ve moksha. Unless those are taken care, there cannot be any freedom. Because wherever you go, they will come. You run away from a particular situation, you think that you are escaping from that situation. It will create situation for you to pursue. Even as you go from here, your teenage boys, and the summer, you take your children. First thing you'll ask, Mom, do they have McDonald's there in India? They will look for it. Even though other things are, no, that one. The most fatty thing. French fries. Why? Because this has become as a deep impressions. Even if you get the best of the hotel outside, no, I want that. This become deep rooted. Anyway, so when you start observing your mind, you will find in the beginning stages, there are many, your mind is moving here, there and everywhere. Then you start recognizing what are those which are considered as a deep rooted impressions. So in that process, some people will get afraid also. My mind has got these things. Yes, sir. Your mind, nobody else's. Some people would withdraw from that. I don't want to see this anymore. But if you consistently stay there, evam sada yunjan yogi niyatamanasah niyata nitaram yatah yatnam kurvan, controlling consistently, again very consciously, intelligently, not allowing the mind to repeat those thoughts consciously. Because the more you repeat the thought, the deeper will become the impressions. Niyatamanasah, person who has mind relatively under his own control or mastery over the mind, ultimately, param shantim nirvanam adhigacchati. Supreme peace. Param shantim. Paramam shantim. Supreme peace. Which is also called nirvana. Nirvana paramam shantim. Parama, supreme. Shanti, peace. Nirvana, I have explained to you earlier also in another context. Nirvana means Vana is fire, nirvana, fireless. Fireless means what? The inner burning is no more. Just like the burning takes place, Calabasas, yesterday, isn't it? Isn't it Calabasas? So much of fire. So when the fire is extinguished, Shant. Similarly, the inner fire is extinguished, Paramam Shantim Nirvanam. Nirvana Paramam Shanti. And Krishna says that is the state of Krishna. Mas samstam adhigacchati. That is a stage where you are with me. Mat samstha, meaning my abode. My abode is that pure peace. Where is it? In you. I'm going to Gokul. I'm going to that, what is that place? Near Delhi. Huh? Vrindavan. Such a chaos there. Everybody beating at each other. What are they? I'm going to Krishna's place, beat each other. Arey, go there. Definitely it's a nice place. But understand, in your meditation, you are with him, he is with you, in you. That abode when you reach, then all other external abodes are. You can go, you need not go. Once you have recognized him within you, anywhere you go is Vrindavan. Mat samstam adhigacchati, he reaches my own abode. Which is what? Paramam nirvana shanti. Shantim nirvana paramam mat samstam adhigacchati. Gacchati means goes. Adhigacchati is knows, realizes. In other words, the result of meditation is realization of God within. Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah shantim nirvana paramam matsamstam adhigacchati. My own abode, which is of the nature of supreme peace, devoid of the fire of ignorance. A yogi with the controlled mind, practicing thus, reaches. So Krishna, with no ambiguity, gave us the result of meditation. So result of meditation is not just sitting quietly. It is recognizing or realizing the God's presence within, whose nature is absolute peace, ultimate peace. What it means is, it does not depend upon external circumstances, situations, happenings. In spite of whatever happens around, individual's mind is at rest, ever at rest, called Everest. The highest peak is that where no more disturbance. That's why Bhagavan Shiva remains at the top of the mountain, right? Nobody can come. Stay there. It is to symbolically say he is at one with him. He is at peace with himself. You know, most of us fight with others because we are not at peace with ourselves. When we are angry about ourselves and we are inconsistent about our own practices and we are unhappy with ourselves, everything else is irritating only. When I do not meet my own standards, I get irritated by everybody else. Most of our anger is due to self-anger only. I am not happy with myself or what I do and what I am. And when even a small little thing happens outside, we get so irritated. When a person has become so at peace with oneself, he recognizes external imperfections can be easily overcome. And external imperfections are bound to be there. Once I have overcome my own imperfections, by my own self-effort, and as it is discovered that I can overcome them, you will become sympathetic towards others. Yeah, others also can overcome, but not today, maybe later. So finding that inner peace, finding that inner joy of being with the Lord is most essential to be at peace with the world. That's why Gurudev would say, you change, the world around you will change. Now, in the next section, Krishna goes to next level of teaching. What is it? what we meet in life also has got an influence upon how you will be able to meditate. Taking everything into consideration. And what we mean by what we meet outside is what we invite. You cannot make the world change for yourself. You cannot say that the world should behave like this. You cannot do that. You tried it and you gave up, is it not, as a married person? You thought when you married to the other person, I will change this one. And then finally you settled. Sudaraya, not possible. Let me adjust, that's the best thing to do. So, I can only stop what I get indulged in. Food, for example, nobody says you should eat this much. I mean, when you are a small child, of course, your mother insisted you should eat in this and that. At some point of time, you decide, okay, this is much is enough for me. No, this kind of intelligently dealing with the world is important in meditation. That's what Krishna is trying to say. It starts from how intelligently you get your relationship with the world. And he uses the word food, and Gurudev expands it saying, food does not mean what you eat through the mouth, but what you receive through senses. What you see, hear, taste, smell, touch, everything is food only. Because just like the food for the body is through the food that you eat, for the mind it is through the eyes and ears. Mind chews on what? What did she say that? Why did he say that? What you see also influences the mind. What you hear influences the mind. That's a food for the mind and the mind. So therefore, with that broad understanding, we should look at this next verse. Natyashnatastu yogosti nachaikantamanashnataha nachati swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna natyashnatastu yogosti nachaikantamanashnataha nachati swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna adi ashnataha yogaha nasti. Na asti yogaha ekantam ashnataha. Ashna means to eat. Ash to eat. Ashnute. And ati ashnam means eating too much. This part of the world is known for that. Obesity, one person went to a very fat fellow and to a doctor. He said, the doctor said, this is too much, 250, 300, what is this? You're just 35 and you're 250 pounds. Doctor, to be frank with you, my mom is also 250, 300. My dad is 300. Obesity runs in our family. The doctor says, obesity doesn't run. Nobody runs in your family. That is right. When the food has become cheaper and not good food, the fatty food becomes cheaper, then obviously this is unavoidable curse. Now good food is very difficult to get. Earlier, when I remember when my great-grandfather, He was a landlord in Kerala. And we have seen, lots of rice and other things they brought. And my great-grandfather would not eat unless it is finely, that polish and all those things. And the unpolished, which is most healthy, given to the workers. And most useless, polished, everything gone. White rice I want. Most unhealthy. In the process, we made the workers very strong and energetic, and we became fat. Now we are going reverse. We realize that what we gave away is the actually correct food. And we gave the most nutritious food to others, to the workers, and we get polished completely, everything gone. So to get the organic food, you have to pay a premium price. And fatty food you get. So when easily available, eat more. A person who eats more cannot meditate. On the other hand, don't go to the other extreme. Ekantam anashnata. No eating at all. No. Swami, if eating is the problem, I'm not going to eat it. And what do you meditate? Only on food. All the time hungry. Where your mind would be? It is listening to Swamiji is such a waste. Mind is always on food. And don't go to the other extreme. So yoga or the meditation is not for the person who eats too much, nor to the person who sparingly eats or doesn't eat at all. The body, after all, is a vehicle. Unless you maintain this vehicle, how will it help you? Consider the body as a fellow traveler who helps you to travel, like a car or any other vehicle. You maintain it properly, give the required things, but don't overdo it. Give proper exercise, give proper food, sleep, rest. Then, yes, it will help you to the extent possible. You overuse it or reject it, ignore it, persecute it. After all, we have been living with this only for the past so many years. Why become unfriendly with this? In fact, overeating, actually, you are killing yourself. You are destroying this vehicle. Some people buy the car, polish. What is that? What is that they put? What is that they do? Waxing. Put it inside the garage, lock it. Every day open it, look at it, take pictures, selfie. Never use it. What's the point? The body, like a vehicle, should be maintained and used. And therefore, Krishna says very clearly, Nacha ati swapna shilaha, meaning always sleeping. Such a person cannot be a yogi, cannot meditate. Jagrataha, never sleeps. Why do you go to the extreme? Na achit adi swapna shilasya jagratocha nai eva. For a person who is oversleeping all the time, ever sleeping, you must see this teenager. One boy wrote a text to his mom. Mommy, if you text me at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm okay. But don't do at 5 a.m. 2 a.m. is okay. Because that fellow is up to 3 a.m. They start sleeping only after 4. Especially you should see them on a Sunday morning. While we have 9 o'clock morning, while bright sun is sleep. And any time you ask them, tired. I'm tired. And I have to definitely tell the parents also push them to every corner possible. Karate class, swimming class, this class. And I tell them, well, karate you teach them, but that should not become a preoccupation. How many of the people who are going to fight with every day? With wife? Why? You learn for the discipline of learning. But pushing them to the other black belt zones. After marriage you can, come on, don't fight you. What is most important is that they forget. How to deal with others' emotions, failures, disappointment. This strength in the mind is more important than the physical, fighting all the time, boxing. If he is going to take that as profession, I understand. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is that the physical body should be given the proper treatment. After all, it is your fellow companion, traveler, vehicle, useful for you if you are able to maintain it tune it well. Proper food, quantity-wise and quality-wise also. Now, why I am saying this is, in Chandogya Upanishad, very clearly has given what happens to your food. I'll say the portion from the Chandogya Upanishad. Annam ashitam treta vidiyate. Food that you eat divides into three parts. Stavishto dhatuhu tat purisham. The gross part of your food that you eat becomes fickle matter, ficus. Madhyamaha tat mamsam, flesh. The middle part or mediocre part of the food becomes the flesh. Anishtaha, that subtle part of the food, tad manaha, that becomes your mind. Now, this vision of the rishis are not just a fast statement, just for the sake of making a statement. Food that you eat, the subtlemost aspect of the food becomes your mind. Now, you may say, how it is? You might have come across. Some people, when you come out of the airport, from international airport, there's a duty-free shop. Lot of spirituality you see there. Bottled spirituality. That is also food. What happens when you drink that? Hey, chal mere bhai. That means what? The food that you take can directly influence your mind. Heavy, fatty food that you eat, mind doesn't work. Sleeping, Swami. Why? Mind is overburdened by the quality of the food that you eat. So, the gross part of the body becomes fickle matter. The middle part of it turns out to become mamsa, flesh. But the subtle part means what? The essence of the food when it is not either properly cooked or overly fat or having this alcoholic elements, drowsiness it will create. On the other hand, when it is freshly cooked, food that is not stale, kept for too long, this is explained later on in another chapter in Bhagavad-Gita. Not kept too long, it is not petrified, it is not, what do you call it, spoiled, fresh. Then you will find you are able to think better. Your mind is brighter. You are able to grasp well. That means the food directly has an influence on the mind. Therefore, when I overeat, I'm actually making my mind dull. And how will it then meditate? How will it be available for me? And I will essentially, it will keep me in a lethargic state, tamasic mood, and I oversleep. And even after sleeping so much, when you get up, you don't feel fresh. Don't think that you sleep more, you will become fresh. That is also a wrong concept. Oh, I'll sleep less, therefore that is also wrong. So the food that you eat, the grossest becomes fickle. Madhyama becomes flesh. And anishtaha, meaning the significant part of it, the important part of it becomes your mind. Similarly, water. Apaha, pitaha, treda vidiyade. Tasam stavishtaha dhatuhu tad mutram. The grossest becomes urine. Madhyamaha tat lohitam. The middle part of it becomes blood. Anishtam sah anishtaha tad prana. Prana, energy, oxygen. So the water, see, this is Chandogya Upanishad, okay? They found that oxygen is there in the water. And that is prana. That makes your physical body as well as the mind become energized properly. The water that has oxygen, which is essential vital air. So water has, some people say, a whole tank full of water. Some people have this tendency. And they are nowadays prescribed 5 bottles of water a day. Go on. They have an app for that also. H2O. Whenever you eat, you press the button. Drinking, press. It will keep track of how much you ate, drank. Over drinking also, then you are next to the restroom only all the time. Anytime. It will happen. Moderation is the best rule. Don't overdo things. So the grossest portion becomes urine. Middle of that becomes blood, part of the blood. And the subtle part becomes prana. Required amount of water is there, necessary for the body to become healthy. Similarly, oil. Oil is essentially fire. So therefore it is said, Tejo ashindam treda vidiyate stavishtaha dhaduhu tad asti. The gross part of the oil that you take becomes bone. Your bones become stronger with the gross part. That's why milk is also in one form is only Agni. Because when the milk becomes curd, becomes butter becomes ghee. Ghee is nothing but a fuel. And ghee is very essential for your bones, calcium. So the Teja means here the element of fire, which is in the form of oil or ghee or the milk. That becomes essential for your bones. That becomes the gross part of it. Madhyamahasa majja. The middle part of it becomes marrow. And the subtle part of that, anishtaha, interesting. Anishtaha sa vak, speech. The oil, the fire element, that's why we say there's a fiery speech. What it means is, it refines the chords. refines the element of the factors that can facilitate speech. Anyway, so the observation of the rishis who have studied life very carefully and found that food has a lot of influence on the individual personality, especially for meditation. So, overeating will make you not able to meditate. Not eating, again, all these factors which are necessary for upkeep of the body not being given, the body will be tired, unhealthy, less energy, and you cannot sit for meditation. Natyashnatastu yogosti nachaikantam anashnatah nachadi swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna. Oversleeping also would not make you capable of meditating. Not sleeping all the time awake, that also will make you tired, you cannot meditate. Overeating, no. Not eating, no. Arey, kya kare? Be careful about the food that you eat, not only the quality and the quantity. Just because quality is good, don't overeat also. Nice food, healthy food, eat. That is also not right. Moderation, middle path of moderation. And again, as I said, it is not only the food that you had eaten through the, but it is also all other perceptions. You see, what you hear, what you taste, what you smell, what you touch. Should not overdo it, because mind has a tendency to get preoccupied when you keep giving that input. Some people have this tendency of eating every hour or every 2 hours. Let me be moderate on that. Cookie jar is always open. Swamiji, I was told that, consistently eating 2 hours is more healthier than eating once in a while. So what do? Constantly eat. See, if you are having a pressure cooker or you are cooking some food, let us say you put it on the stove and it's cooking. Every 10 minutes open, add things to it. Will it ever cook? Some of them will be overcooked. Some of them are somewhat okay. Some of them never cook. Why? You keep on adding and adding and adding. Similarly, the mind and the physical body also, give and wait. Let it digest, let it finish its job, then go for the next. So also with the mind. I tell my students, whenever you read, close the book, think. What did I understand? Reflect on it. Have I digested what is said? It's not constant listening will ever make you intelligent. The intelligence comes or wisdom comes on thinking and chewing and digesting what you have heard. So anything overdone is only overkill, even in spirituality. Read, reflect, think about it. And you may not get the whole thing into yourself. Whatever is essential, you pick it up. Try to experiment, find out whether it works or not. Go to the next. So it applies to all aspects. Na ati ashnatastu yogosti na cha ekantam manashnatah na chadi swapnashilasya jagrato na cha eva arjuna na cha arjuna. Thus we come to a logical conclusion here. We will see the rest of the part of this chapter 6 when we meet post summer. Next week is a graduation event for all the students here, so then we will meet after summer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyat Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.